Number one thing that we've got to see, I've got a few. So which one do I want to go with first? I'm going to go with the toss away one first, I think. Because this is
okay.
Wahlstrom. We need to see what the hell's going to happen with Oliver Wahlstrom at camp, because I need to see, he's obviously battling for a position in the bottom six with like Simon Holmstrom, Hudson Fasching, Maxim Siplikov, Kyle McLean. They're all battling for what is probably one spot in the lineup.
Just about.
Maybe, right? Although maybe not. Matt Martin's gone. Cal Clutterbuck's gone. That's really two spots on the fourth line.
Matt Martin not gone. PTO.
Right. Sorry, you're right.
He could win a spot here.
Help me God. If Matt Martin wins a spot to this goddamn team, we all love Matt Martin. Yes. All of us. So this is a feeling that we're all feeling right now, but Matt Martin should not have a spot on this team. He should not be able to. If Matt Martin makes this team out of camp, we have catastrophic levels of issues with this team, like Spiz level doom and gloom with this team.
Even as a 13th forward.
Even as a 13th forward, there's a problem.
I'm on the same page. It's harsh, but I'm on the same page.
We just can't have it. He died, 5 fighting majors over the year? You're going to keep this guy for 5 fighting majors? Please.
Well, you got to play the Rangers how many times a year, Mitch? You got to have someone to go against Rempe, and then if Toronto decides to play Ryan Reeves in one of the 2 games that they play against each other, so that's like, and then Tom Wilson sometimes gets scrappy, so that's like 7 times right there. So
you're right. That's 7 games worth it. $100,000 a game is worth it.
Yeah, just about, honestly.
Jesus, Murphy. But yeah, to me, step one, Oliver, I need to see it, because the potential from this kid is so high, right? Like we talked about it for years. He's got 20 to 25 goal potential just on the shot alone. The only problem with him is he can't get into a spot where he can use that shot. If he could just somehow figure that out, the sky's the limit for this kid. Maybe not the sky's the limit. He's not going to turn into Wayne Gretzky all of a sudden, or Alex Ovechkin all of a sudden, but the sky's the limit in terms of he could become either a 4th liner, 3rd liner, 2nd liner, or 1st liner. The potential is there for that kid based off that release if he figures out everything else, which is a lot, obviously. But we're going to see that at camp this year. Hopefully, if he has figured it out, I'm just worried that he has not. Because why would he all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It sounds, and maybe not because you kind of brought it full circle there, but I was going to say, even just by bringing him up, you are significantly more optimistic on Oliver Wahlstrom than I am. I don't think I could be any more out on Oliver Wahlstrom, and maybe that's good for him. Like, I'm going to reverse mush him into actually being good, and that would be incredible. But I'm looking at a guy, and granted, there was an injury involved, so maybe that's unfair of me, but over his last 2 years, so 67 games in the last 2 years, 9 goals and 22 points, and he's shooting at 8.1%. Like, his strength is supposed to be his shot and his goal scoring. Like, that's what we were sold on. That's why he was drafted, 11th overall? Yeah, 11th overall in 2018. Yeah. And he's shooting at 8%. And that's being carried by his 10% shot in 22-23 because he shot at a whopping 4.9% in the 32 games he played this year. He looked significantly worse coming back from the injury. And I don't trust playing him in a bottom 6 role because he's not good defensively or doesn't know where he needs to be. So if you're going to play like that, which is fine. We heard, Al Arbor talked about Mike Bossy that way. Yeah. But sorry, Oliver Wahlstrom, you're not in the same stratosphere as Mike Bossy. If you could score 30 goals, sure, like that's a completely different conversation. We just haven't seen that over in his career. Actually, I guess we have. He has 34 career goals, but in 193 games. Unfortunately, the NHL season's 82, so that might present a problem here, Mitch.
Yeah, his best year was probably, I'm just looking at the underlying numbers here, maybe even that first full year where he played 44 games, scored 12 goals, right? But 12 goals on 8.94 expected goals. This is at all situations. So he was overachieving what he was putting out there on the ice. The next year, he scored 13 goals in 73 games. But on, where was the number I'm looking for here? On 15.36 IXG. So he was underperforming his expected goals. that first year was the best one, and we've had diminishing returns since then. That's why I'm not confident, obviously.
And he started off the first like month or so, roughly,
Yeah.
of that 2021 season. He looked good, and Dobson looked horrible. And then they they flip flopped seemingly overnight. And I don't know. I think it's just too big of a sample size now. I don't think you could, like, he's 24 years old. I know he just turned 24. He's still relatively young, but I think this is going to go the way of the Kiefer Bellows, where the Islanders waive him. He gets claimed by a bottom feeder team, maybe plays a few games there. But I just, at this point, I'm not really holding out much hope that he's going to be anything at this level.
If you like that, make sure to subscribe to Up the Turnpike on Patreon for more exclusive New York Islanders content.